why true music lovers make a big switch. And because you have a winner taste, 88.5 FM is your only station.
It is exactly 1 p.m. from the nation's capital, the pleasant. Good afternoon and welcome to King's News Broom. 45 minutes of news about Liberia and the rest of our one globe. I'm Stephen Konton And and top stories we are closely following this afternoon. Former Liberian president and global soccer icon George Weah's sons autograph with world-leading sport souvenir company Icon.com to encourage investment for Liberian sports. Liberian Senate concurs with the House of Representatives to replace Ministry of Internal Affairs with a newly created Ministry of Local Government. The House of Senate says repealing the act will establish the Ministry of Internal Affairs with strengthen local governance. Amazed increasing power outages, a group on the burden concerned LEC user demands Liberia Electricity Corporation interim managing director Thomas Gunkawa to return recently received most outstanding state actor of the year. And that's where US President Donald Trump has reiterated a vision in which the US will take over Gaza after officials in his administration appear to contradict his earlier comments. Details of these developments, the news bulletin, and the actual voices of the newsmakers are all packaged into this presentation of the news program. We're taking a very short break to be right back. Welcome back, and up next is the Bulletin of News with Cornelius Johnson.
Global soccer legend George Weah and Icons.com, a London-based sports company, has officially signed an autograph contract worth several million United States dollars. Icons.com is a world sports company rated as a top-tier level in the sports memorabilia market, particularly for football memorabilia. The London-based sports company holds an exclusive license with FIFA and UEFA, making them one of the most trusted sources for authenticated signed items. The prestigious signing ceremony, which was held at the former Liberian President Jamaica Resort, is intended to generate funds to be used to implement several initiatives that will impact Liberians. A high-powered delegation of Icons.com, international sports journalists and dignitaries, among others, graced the occasion. Speaking during the ceremony, we are encouraged grassroots footballers to remain steadfast and committed to sports discipline. According to him, he was previously driven and motivated by Brazilian Ronaldo's determination and discipline, something he said he held onto to make major impact in his career growth, that is. Weah also noted that he wished to see a Liberian player who will be more than him in terms of achievement in the world of sports. Also speaking after the ceremony, Icons.com CEO said his company is excited to sign a deal with global soccer legend George Weah. President Joseph Boakai has called for the full implementation of the electronic government public procurement system as part of efforts to strengthen transparency in the public procurement sector of Liberia. Speaking at the official launch of the system, President Boakai emphasized its crucial role in curbing corruption and fostering economic growth by streamlining the procurement process through digital means. The president declared a platform mandatory for all government procurement entities, aiming to improve transparency, efficiency, and accountability in the procurement process. In an address, President Boakai reiterated his administration's commitment to fighting corruption by upholding public procurement and financial management laws. reinforcing integrity, institutions, and ensuring the effective management of public funds. The president also assured stakeholders that the government will mobilize additional resources to address any challenges arising from the system implementation and will continue to collaborate with international development partners to strengthen Liberia's procurement reform agenda. Furthermore, President Bouakai commended the private sector for its active participation, highlighting that the new system creates a level play field, allowing businesses to compete fairly for government contracts. The Ministry of Information, Culture Affairs and Tourism has unveiled an arts and culture galleries aimed to promote Liberia's culture and arts. The program brought together government officials, ambassadors, and Liberia Vice President Jeremiah Combs. Speaking during the unveiling ceremony, Vice President Jeremiah Combs pledged the government's commitment to support the tourism sectors of the country. He admonished both houses to allot fundings in the national budget that will support and help to promote the tourism sectors and attract investors in the country. At the same time, Vice President Kunwa admonished Liberians to promote and actively engage in colloquial speaking as a means of promoting Liberian culture and values. Also speaking, House of Representatives Chair on Cultural Affairs and Tourism, Bernard Benzin, vowed to constructively engage his colleagues about the significance of tourism and asked for more budgetary support. Monrovia City Court's penitentiary magistrate Ben Parker has entertained final arguments in the alleged arson case involving defendants Thomas Etheridge and Ire Sese. During Thursday proceedings, the defense team requested the court suppress evidence and return co-defendant Etheridge's phone, arguing that it has been seized illegally. The defense also contested the authenticity of the prosecution's audio recording, claiming it was AI generated and obtained by state security during the investigation. Councilor Jonathan Massaquoi, lead counsel for the defense, highlighted the absence of forensic evidence, which he argued would serve as the best evidence in the case. He cited Chapter 12, Section 11.10 of the Criminal Procedure Law, which addresses unlawful search and seizures, citing that the warrant of the phone lacked probable cause. In response, prosecution lawyers counter revealing that their investigations concluded arson was committed and presented evidence alleging that the defendants were preparing a petrol bomb. Councilor Richard Scott of the prosecution outlined evidence of criminal conspiracy, attempted murder, and other crimes committed by Edward Sise and others at large. Responding to the defense request to suppress evidence, the prosecution noted that the defense failed to object to the evidence during the trial until the final argument. Magistrate Bako has reserved his ruling on the matter, which is expected to be delivered Wednesday, February 12, 2025. The government of Liberia has outlined plans aimed at negotiating and finding a best way possible for the deportation of Liberians from the U.S. Recently, President Donald Trump signed an executive order to deport immigrants who illegally enter the United States, which affects several countries, including Liberia, and further suspended USAID programs. Addressing mega press conference, Information Minister Jeremy Pia said, although the government has not received official communication from the U.S. government about the deportation of some of its citizens, but the measures are meant to provide protection for would-be Liberian deportees. He added that the Foreign Affairs Ministry has engaged the U.S. Embassy for a dialogue to find ways to resolve the matter. The Liberian Senate has officially repealed the act establishing the Ministry of Internal Affairs, replacing it with the newly created Ministry of Local Government. The move, according to the Senate, aligns with the Local Government Act of 2018, which seeks to decentralize governance and empower local authorities, ensuring greater citizen participation in national decision-making processes. The passage is expected to strengthen local governance by devolving more power and responsibility to local governments, which will enhance service delivery and promote inclusive development. According to the Senate, despite the dissolution of the Ministry of Internal Affairs, all contracts, orders, and decisions made on its authority prior to the enactment of the new law will remain valid. The newly established Ministry of Local Government will resume or assume responsibility for overseeing local governments and ensuring a balanced socio-economic development across Liberia. And a group on the banner concerned users group is calling on the Liberia Electricity Corporation and its interim managing director, Thomas Kongewo, to return the recently received Most Outstanding State Actors Award of the year 2024 to its rightful owners. The concerned LEC users group is said to represent thousands of Liberians frustrated by the ongoing electricity challenges in the country. On Thursday, February 5, the African Journalists Network and SAPA TV presented an award to LEC's management, naming the LEC boss as the most outstanding state actor of the year 2024. Concerning LEC users group, in a statement issued Thursday, described the award as undeserved in the light of significant power supply issues affecting Morovia and surrounding areas. The group also recounted recent disruptions, including the emergency load reduction of 85% imposed by LEC power supplier, CIE, which has reduced the power supply from 50 megawatts to just 7.5 megawatts, adding that this has led to widespread power outages that have severely impacted the daily lives of Liberians. In addition, concerned LEC user groups criticizes persistent outages which go beyond the normal schedules, noting that it reflects a failure in the leadership and management at LEC. Meanwhile, the group called on the management of LEC to focus on resolving the power crisis and meet the basic needs of the people rather than accepting recognition for a job they have not done. That's the shape of the news bulletin. It's back to you, Stephen, for the continuation of King's Newsroom.
Cornelius Johnson there with the news bulletin is a regular feature on King's Newsroom. 45 minutes of news about Liberia and elsewhere. And in one of our top developments, former Liberian president and global so-called icon George Weah's son's autograph with world-leading sports souvenir company Icon.com to encourage investment for Liberian sports. We are taking a very short break. When we come back, we'll bring you voices of the news makers. Welcome back. Let's now take our first development. Global soccer legend George Weah and Icon.com, a London-based sports company, has officially signed an autograph contract worth several million United States dollars. Speaking during the signing ceremony, George Weah encouraged grassroots footballers to remain steadfast and committed to sports discipline. According to him, he was positively driven and motivated by Brazilian Ronaldo's determination and discipline, something he said he held onto to make major impact in his career growth.
I want to say this. A lot of players keep talking. They keep talking, they're talking about some of their friends, oh, they got this, they got that. But you got a lot of players that work so hard and they get the result that they get, and other people try to diss them. You know what I'm saying? The only way is to work hard, is to push. You know what I'm saying? And that's why you see I respect Ronaldo. Yeah.
He's still scoring at 40 years old.
The Brazilian. The Brazilian. Yeah. I like Ronaldo, the one now from Portugal. I love him. He's a good guy. He works so hard. But I guess if you ask him, he will also tell you that he admires somebody. You know what I'm saying? But the actual Ronaldo from Brazil, that plays for Inter Milan, he's one of the coolest guys, but he's also hard working guy. Imagine, they both broke his leg, I think 3, 4 months, 5 months before World Cup. He come back to the game and be a high scorer in the World Cup.
Yeah.
What kind of example you want again? You know what I'm saying? It's a resilient person.
Yeah.
And even today, Ronaldo is also a resilient person. It doesn't matter what people say. He's working hard. And he's a good player. Both of them.
Yeah.
And I came from Africa. These are the ball. Ronaldo, I watch him. I see how fast was this guy. But the guy can be fast. He's shorter than me. What am I doing? I got to work harder. You understand? Because I'm tall.
Yep.
I can stretch. But if this short guy is faster than me, then I need to work hard.
There's always someone who's willing to take your
You
place.
understand?
The effort.
Yeah. So we watch other players. We watch people, and then we admire them. You know, so I admire them both Ronaldo. You know, and then Messi even make it worse. You know, yeah, Messi make it worse. You know, he's the style of playing very calm. He dribble very. You know, I love Messi. Messi is one of the greatest players ever, whether we like it or not. You understand? And I respect him. You know.
We had also noted that he wished to see a Liberian player who would be more than him in terms of achievement in the water sports.
I wish to see someone come that will be better than me or someone like me. But again, the generation, you know, in our generation we came. But you can see you see our youth. They are determined. We just need to support them. That's all. You know, and then we hope that it will get better. You know, the programs for sports will get better. You know, and then for children to be inspired.
You were even seeking for sponsorship from them to help the national team. 2 days ago.
I love Labrador to be good. You know, the national team, if I can find sponsor for the national team like I did before, that's why I'm talking to them. Because you see, Labrador attached to me, and I'm attached to Labrador. You know what we're doing? They could get revolutionized. I want Labrador to be inside. So if they can get sponsorship, these people are reputable people. If they can get sponsorship for Labrador national team, why not? Why not? Hello, why not? That's it, why not? So they got contact. Maybe they could contact some of their friends and say, look, Labrador need sponsorship for jersey. They need sponsorship for small cash, you know, just to help them to move the national team. Why not? What I said, I don't think they should take anything from Labrador national team.
Also speaking after the signing ceremony, Icon.com CEO said his company is excited to sign a deal with global soccer legend Josh Weir.
My name is Dan Jameson, and I'm the CEO of Icons. And we have had the absolute pleasure of spending 2 hours with George Weah today, the only African to win the Ballon d'Or. And as Icons are the licensee of the Ballon d'Or, we had to come and see him. We had to come to Liberia. We had to add him to our collection. So we're so excited today to have the greatest African player ever sign our products.
Tell us a bit about your company in terms of association with sports.
So we are the world's largest signed football memorabilia company. We have a license with FIFA for the World Cup, UEFA for the Champions League, with Ballon d'Or as well. Some of the clubs like AC Milan. We were partners with PSG. We work with Manchester City. So a lot of the teams that are in Chelsea as well. So a lot of teams that George played for. It's fantastic for us to get George to sign, and then we can add them into our licenses, and then we can sell them through those club websites, the World Cup shops, and the Champions League stores. So it's brilliant for us. So I had to add George to the list. We have 30 out of the last 36 Ballon d'Or winners. So today we got our number 31. So we've got a few more to go, but we'll continue. When we came here, we were driven along the coast so we could see the new park and the new sports facilities that George has built since he was president. So it's fantastic to see it.
Icons.com CEO there speaking. Earlier, you listened to former Liberian president and global soccer legend Josh Weir. The government of Liberia has outlined plans aimed at negotiating and finding a best way possible for the deportation of Liberians from the U.S. Recently, President Donald Trump signed an executive order to deport immigrants who illegally entered the United States, which affects several countries, including Liberia, and further suspended USAID programs. Addressing MICAD press conference, Information Minister Jerry Lemick PR said, although the government has not received official communication from the U.S. government about the deportation of some of its citizens, but measures are being put in place to provide protection for who be Liberians deportees.
The government of the United States of America has commenced deportation of aliens and criminals from the U.S. In addition, there has been a suspension of all USAID activities around the world. It is a major contributor to key sectors of Liberia such as health, education, rule of law, and to date, the Liberian government has not been informed of any deportations in line with the new immigration policy of the American government. Liberia is informed of only 4 deportees, 3 of whom are expected in Liberia this week. It is important to note that processing of those deportees began before the Trump administration's recent pronouncement of mass deportation, totally unrelated to. In consultation with President Bouaka, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs has been engaging U.S. authorities. Proactive Minister of Foreign Affairs has written her counterpart, the U.S. Secretary of State, for a meeting to dialogue on alternatives. Meanwhile, the government is also engaging with the U.S. Congress and federal level to seek alternatives, but though diplomacy is ongoing. At home, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs remains engaged with the U.S. ambassador, whom the government thanks for his openness in these engagements. To show a proper response to the concerns of Liberians in the U.S. through our engagements with the Liberian ambassador in Washington, D.C., the government convened a Zoom meeting, major Liberian diaspora organizations, to solicit their views and inputs on these important issues.
Information Minister Jerry Lemick PR there speaking. If you are just coming our way, there's a reminder that you are listening to King's Newsbrew, 45 minutes of news about Liberia and elsewhere. In our top developments, former Liberian president and global soccer icon George Weah's sons autograph with world-leading sports souvenir company Icons.com to encourage investment for Liberian sports. Liberian Senate concords with the House of Representatives to replace Ministry of Internal Affairs with a newly created Ministry of Local Government. The House of Senate says repealing the act which establishes the Ministry of Internal Affairs will strengthen local governance. Amidst increasing power outages, a group on the burden concerned LEC users demand Liberia Electricity Corporation interim managing director Thomas Gonkawo to return recently received Most Outstanding State Actor of the Year award. And away from home, U.S. President Donald Trump has reiterated a vision in which the U.S. would take over Gaza after officials in his administration appear to contradict his earlier comments. We are taking another short break. When we come back, we'll bring you more developments. And now, ahead of the news presentation is the foreign development, but this development sets the pace. The Ministry of Information, Cultural Affairs and Tourism has unveiled an arts and culture galleries aimed at promoting Liberia culture and arts. The program brought together government officials, ambassadors, and Liberia Vice President Jeremiah Cohn. Speaking during the unveiling ceremony, Vice President Jeremiah Cohn pledged the government's commitment to support the tourism sector of the country. He admonished both houses to allot fundings in the national budget that will support and help to promote the tourism sector to attract investors into the country.
Let's make tourism a focus point, and as a government, we can invest in it and pay some attention.
Culture and tourism started in this country under President Trump. And you know, coming as a kid, or we're beginning in high school, they say, oh, President Trump must spend over 27 years. Why they can't get a man one birthday? But I think they'll get his birthday, they did well. So some of the things that happen, some of the things he did, and some of the things we see today, I mean, it's debatable, but in my mind, he did well. Executive Mansion. And today, as I'm speaking, the world is watching me. They will have to do it differently and put more time to do better than those who work here. So we have to invest in this business. Like the representative and the senator, both chairpersons said, the Kennedy result, we have to put some, we got to be deliberate and put some money in it. To work together. I told, while sitting by the minister, I told him you need to do some draft and maybe a design, talk to some Liberian architect, and let's see the costs. We may not be able to pay all the money this year to build it, but we can start the process. Whether international group, whether companies in the country, Mitai, other people, we could speak to them and they could chip in, and pretty soon, before you know, we could get it done. And so we need to be deliberate about it. Most times, I sit in my office when people come and say, oh, they want to invest in the Hotel Africa. I mean, I've seen more than 10 different groups that want to invest in Hotel Africa. If you went to Hotel Africa today, as bad as the place looked, you realize that less existed there. You can feel it. If it's possible, as a government, we need to redeem that place. Let's find some money and get some Liberian contractors. Let's start some work. When we start, the investors will be serious. They will come and say, oh, my man, you're starting. For the fact that we even bless you and maybe building a wall to block the sea.
At the same time, Vice President Jeremiah Kone admonished Liberians to promote and actively engaged in colloquial speaking as a means of promoting Liberian culture and values.
Children can catch it easily. Our children know the colloquial. If you sit near anybody and say, I don't know what thing you're talking about, they ask you, are you speaking English? You go to Ghana and speak Tree. You go to Saloon and speak Creole. We need to be proud of our colloquial speaking. Because when we can talk to one another, if you need to only us Liberian, it will preserve it and if possible, teach it in school. Liberian man will say, I'm going to come back. Nobody understands that thing in the world. Only us. And so, minister, those are things you need to preserve. And the Minister of Information, like the power hub of the government, you need to start talking. Thank God the media houses are here. You go to the radio station, you speak your Kolokwa, and say, the man, I go to school. Yeah, I'm not English, man. I'm speaking English, you can't speak Gyo. You can't speak Mano. You can't speak Bata. You can't speak Krebo. You can't speak Pere. If I can tell you, small, me, I'm better. So we need to improve on our Kolokwa and make our children to learn the Kolokwa. And the media, let not be ashamed. Sometimes I'm getting New York talk Kolokwa. I'm talking about a special program for Kolokwa, Liberian English. No, all of y'all need to be speaking it. You're giving you, sometimes you put Kolokwa and you come back to the English. All they're doing in Ghana, they put Tree in it. So when you're listening to the radio in Ghana, you're driving, you don't understand everything they say. So the guy speak English small, then he flip in there, and then he come back out. And I make it unique. Then the person in the car will have the driver. People will start chattering Chelsea because they want to hear the radio, because they want to drive to interpret.
Also speaking, House of Representatives chaired on Information, Cultural Affairs and Tourism, Bernard Blow Benson vowed to constructively engage his colleagues about the significance of tourism and arts for more budgetary support.
To push vigorously to support the recreation of Cape Niger. If we are serious about tourism, the re-establishment of Cape Niger must be prioritized. Cape Niger served as our cultural identity and gave us cultural relevance. Mr. Vice President, Honorable Senator, all members of this high table, we must all put our hands together to re-establish Cape. If we are to be serious to push Liberia to the world, the engine that serves as our cultural identity and relevance. You know, I was gossiping a little bit up there with the senator, and I said something to him. I said the Liberian culture, we're not seeing too many young people as part of the dancers. because our young people, no information, have no identity, have no relevance to our cultural identity that we must promote. So once again, in the tourism fight, there was many actors silent. Let us put hands together in making sure that the re-establishment of Kidney Jar becomes a reality.
And this next development before the foreign news, President Joseph Boakai has called for the full implementation of the electronic government public procurement system as part of efforts to strengthen transparency in public procurement in Liberia. Speaking at the official launch of the system, President Joseph Boakai emphasized its crucial role in combating corruption and fostering economic growth by screening the procurement process through digital means. The Liberian president declared the platform mandatory for all government officials aimed to promote transparency, efficiency, and accountability in the public procurement process.
One of the most steps in the whole lives was efficiency and productivity in our government system. And here with great expectation that today formally run the online procurement platform that seeks to strengthen transparency and accountability in the public procurement. We view the launch of this platform as a major milestone in the fight against corruption. Again, corruption. Evidently, corruption has stood as a stubborn menace that has for decades wrapped the foundation of this nation and dissipated our drive for socio-economic development. But we must all agree with corruption. As a government, we place high premium on the fight against corruption, and we are very serious about it. This is evident by my administration's support to upholding all pieces of legislation on public procurement and public financial management. We will continue to support the work of integrity in institutions and strengthen their abilities to expose the fight against corruption. And even as we come to these programs, you appoint people you don't know, but it is to the trust that all of us are committed to making this country better. And so even the people who are managing the corruption, the institutions, we expect high standard of them. If they don't, we have to find a way, because everybody says they have tenure, but you don't have tenure that will give you the right to be corrupt. We feel obligated to do this for the singular purpose of restoring confidence in our government system and bringing prosperity to this nation.
And now, away from home, U.S. President Donald Trump has restated a vision in which the U.S. would take over Gaza after officials in his administration appeared to contradict his earlier comment. The Gaza Strip would be turned over to the United States by Israel by the conclusion of the fighting. U.S. President Donald Trump said on Thursday, reiterated that the idea remains resettling Palestinians and that no U.S. soldiers will be needed. Trump's resettlement idea has prompted accusations that he is planning ethnic cleansing and has drawn condemnation from the UN Human Rights Group and Arab leaders. Analysts doubt it would never happen. After Trump's first comment on this issue, his officials suggested an relocation would be only temporary. On his plan, Trump wrote on Truth Social Gazan, who have already been resettled in 5 after and more beautiful communities with new and modern homes in the region. The U.S. would then be part of an effort to redevelop that enclave, he said. Well, that's the foreign news, and this is how we come to the end of today's edition of the news program. Before we take leave of you, reminded of top stories we closely follow. Former Liberian president and global soccer icon George Weah signs autograph with world-leading sports souvenir company Icons.com to encourage investment for Liberian sports. Liberian Senate concords with the House of Representatives to replace the Ministry of Internal Affairs with a newly created Ministry of Local Government. The House of Senate says repealing the act which established the Ministry of Internal Affairs will strengthen local governance. Amidst increasing power shortage, a group other the Bathon concerned LEC users demands Liberia Electricity Corporation interim managing director Thomas Gonkowon to return recently received mold as standing state actor of the year, in a way from whom U.S. President Donald Trump has restated a vision in which the U.S. will take over Gaza after officials in his administration appeared to contradict his earlier statement. On this note, we say many thanks to our news writers, correspondents from across the country, and editors for making today's news presentation a success. Cornelius Johnson was here with the news bulletin, and I'm Stephen Konton. Thanks for listening and watching.